Hi. Hiya. How y'all doing? Hi, babe.
Hi, honey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you in a good mood this morning?
I am in a much better mood.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So what are we talking about today, baby? Just a brief.
Well, this is February, so we're talking about.
You look so pretty.
Thank you, baby.
You really do, though.
Thank you.
I wish I could look pretty like this.
You're very beautiful. Honey.
Really? I'm beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay, so it's February, which means it's Black History Month, which means, you know,
be black.
So, when we met, we used to have a lot of debates because, by the way, these are Heaven Be Jury earrings. You see how that looks?
Go on her website, purchase it.
Heaven Be Jury, my jewelry line. Ain't that cute? It look nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we had a lot of debates when we first met because I'm African American and she's African.
Yeah.
And you know, I used to say things because I'm really, really big on my history and where I come from and who I am. Very big on it. So I would, you know, we would have conversations and movies and stuff like that. And you know, she had a difference of opinion. She didn't understand, or she didn't like the fact that we were termed African American. Yeah. Because she's actually from Africa. So she's like, y'all are called African Americans, but y'all are not really from Africa. Y'all never been there. Y'all wasn't raised there. Y'all don't know what that's about, you know? And I think one point I got it, and another point I was like, excuse me, you know, we can't just be called American because American is full of other ethnicities. So to me, first I'm going to read the Google's definition of African and African American. So African, it says a person from Africa, especially a black person, of or relating to Africa or people of African descent. Now I'm going to look up African American. So African American, a black American, of or relating to black Americans. It says nothing about Africa.
So y'all not African?
No, but we don't say that right. I'm actually a little shocked over the Google definitions because
to me,
but it says it clearly.
Okay,
babe.
Okay. This is my opinion. You can't call yourself something. You can't just put a logo or a label on yourself if you haven't really lived that life. You understand? Like you can't call yourself African American when you don't know nothing about Africa just by school definitions, class sessions and stuff like that. So I feel like anybody who is called African American should have lived in Africa or some kind of sort. But if you live here and you call yourself African American, to me it doesn't make sense, because we Africans, the black people here in America, we call them Black Americans. We don't call them African Americans. We call them Black Americans because y'all black and y'all live in America. But people from Africa are Africans. So I think that's where the difference really comes into. And it's like, I feel like they don't really teach you guys like what really goes down in Africa. Like y'all just see like the poor side in Africa, you know, the bad sides. Like people are really living, you know, well in Africa.
I'm not gonna lie. To me, like, okay, I grew up in America. Mm-hmm. We were not given the choice to choose if we're African American or something else. Mm-hmm. That's just what we've always been since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. You understand?
It starts
we were Negroes and niggers and, you know, African Americans. So to dispute something that's on your birth certificate, that's on your job application, that's on everything that you see African American. So we didn't think, oh no, this is the wrong thing to call us. This is all we've known. Who do we learn? Who do we go to? You know, this is the same thing our mothers were taught, and our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers, that we are African American. To me, now at 26, I see why Raven Simone said, you know, I'm American. As far as I know, that my family comes from an American place. I get that. It was like a lot of controversy about what she said, but I understand it, because African American to me now, as I'm an adult, I look at it as if African comes from the fact that our ancestors are from there. That's a story that goes beyond history. That, you know, we were all in Africa living our happy lives, and they came and took most of us and brung us here, you know. That's where the African comes from in America. I cannot just call myself an American because this is the United States of America, which means there's all types of ethnicities in America. So if I label myself an American,
it's like, where do you fall in the American category?
Exactly. You know, so I mean, I don't know. I feel as though we will always have difference of opinions, but we will have to come to a mutual agreement and medium before we have a child. Because it's going to be very clear that
we're having a daughter.
That's the plan.
We already have a name.
Yeah, don't say it, babe.
Should I say it?
No, honey.
Okay.
But it just is we're as parents, we're gonna have to teach her the same way. You know, we don't want to teach her confused, and we would want her to know that she has an African American mother and an African mother, and we would want.
She's gonna be a strong black woman.
She is, and we would want her to know that you know, it's okay to embrace both, but we will have to really come to
an agreement. Yeah,
because I'm really strong. She's really strong in her belief that we should not be called. And I mean, I agree because I do. I think meeting you and being with you has opened my eyes to Africa in a whole different way, because it's true. Americans, we see Africa one way. We see it. We see hungry children and, you know, people going out there to help, and we see villages. No, now that I know that they're called villages, we see the poor parts of Africa. Being with her in pictures and movies and music and videos, I'm just like, wait, y'all had a whole, like, they have a whole Hollywood out there, you know, like a whole, you know, music world and a good movie world.
She knows how to do the Azonto.
Yep, the Azonto. And Nadia Buhari is my boo. And y'all should Google her. She's a famous actress out there. So it's like, it's a glamorous life in Africa. You know, like her family has really nice houses that's gonna be mine soon. And
oh, you tried it?
Not gonna be mine soon?
Nah.
Not at all?
Nah, that's my property.
I thought I would be like African royalty.
Nah, I don't even know it. Nah.
Not African royalty?
Nah.
Look at my African royalty stance. No?
They don't know what that is.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's just really beautiful out there. Really, 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 really pretty. And even watching movies, and it's shot in Nigeria and Ghana, where she's from. It's just like these houses are out there and those cars, and they do that, you know. So I get it. I get where she comes from. We're not African, and I think if African Americans was to go to Africa, we would see just how Americanized we actually are. Yeah. You know, like we ain't nothing about that life. We can't live like that. Like, we got it real easy out here. But we don't know what else to call ourselves. You know, this is all we know. What do we call ourselves? We could call ourselves Black American, but then you have to take that up with the government, because then, you know, like I said, it's still on every application, birth certificate and everything. It's African American, Caucasian.
Now they're changing it to some applications. They have like Black.
They do have Black, or and I've seen application where they have African and African American, and they have really? There's some applications that's really, really specific on, and then there's some that's just broad. And I was telling a coworker of mine the other day, like, I'm really bad at, you know, because I think she's like Pakistani or something. But to me, I'm just like Black, white, Spanish, Chinese. You know, like I don't. She was telling me the difference of like Japanese and Asian, and it's so ignorant of me to kind of just put everybody in a category, because everybody's not Puerto Rican or Dominican or Jamaican or Trinidadian, or, you understand? And I recently found out that my great grandmother is Native American. And that's cool to me, but I would like to, like, I'm always for knowing more about my history, so I would like to know more about that. I know my great grandfather is like Jamaican. Another great grandfather is like
Indian. Someone is Indian in your family.
That's right? My great grandmother. Oh. And if you see a picture of my great grandmother, it's just like,
she's like a white lady.
She's like a white lady.
Yeah.
Cause there was a time where I used to say, "Why am I so bright?" You know. I used to be like, why am I like? I was like, why when we look at African movies or we see everybody in Africa, they're all dark skinned. You know, it had to be something had to happen from Africa to America for some people to be mixed up and be. You know, everybody's dark skinned, so we were all originally dark skinned, and then
it's a slave trade.
It is, and then you know the whole story of well, you're lighter skinned because white people raped you, it's like that. You know, so I've heard stories like that. I don't know.
You should see. I think it's more Nigeria because Nigeria is an American colonized country. So I think the Nigerians were brought here and the Ghanaians were sent to the UK because Ghana is a British colony country in Nigeria. So I think had the Nigerians and the UK had the Ghanaians. Oh. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
But you should see, try and Google Cape Coast, the slave dungeons, and you see where the slaves were really kept in Ghana. I don't know.
Oh my God, the building, right?
Yeah, Obama went there. We saw a documentary. Yeah. It's really interesting.
On where the slaves were held captive in Africa before they were on the ships to go.
On the ship, and you see pictures and you see, people talking about it. So it's really interesting.
It is interesting, and I've always been afraid to go to Africa. Let me clarify. I'm afraid to leave the country. It's not specifically go to Africa. It's just that I've watched Not Without my daughter, okay? If you've never seen Not Without... You've never seen it. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it.
We should watch it today.
We are going to watch it when you get off work. Okay, perfect. So, yeah. Like...
I think I don't want to watch it because I don't want to fall into the trap.
No, it's not falling into the trap. You need to know these things. No, you need to know these things. Not Without My Daughter is a strong movie, and I've seen movies and I've heard stories and I read articles about how people leave the country and they can't come back. You know, they end up in some foreign jail and their identity is taken from them and that's it, they can't come back. And me, I'm gonna stick out like a Thor some in Africa, my little bright ass. They're gonna be like, she American. I'm gonna try to act like I'm naughty with Barbie.
I think you should braid your hair and wear some. I'll give you some African rapper and you rap yourself.
Yes. Yeah, so what's the word? What's the name of the costume of the outfit?
Kente, Kaba.
Which one?
Kaba.
What's Kente?
Kente is the rich African cloth.
Then I'm wearing Kente. Why you changed it? Kente is what I'll be wearing. What's Kaba? The more affordable one?
Like the one my grandmother had in the picture, the sewn one that she was in the chair.
So Kente Kaba. I'll be wearing Kente Kaba.
Kente and Kaba, they're two different words.
But I want to wear the rich sewn cloth.
That's Kente.
So I'll be wearing Kente. I'm gonna dress up in Kente, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Why are you gonna dress up in Kente?
Cause I want to blend in.
No word. All right.
They're gonna call me a what's that thing you call white people?
A brony.
Yep, they're gonna call me a brony.
A brony means white person.
They're gonna call me a brony when they see me, and I don't want to be no darn a brony. Shout out to all my fair skinned people. But
nah, you're not though. You're not in that category.
That's right.
You're black. You black. I painted you this way, but you're black.
I'm black. I wish I was a little darker skinned though.
No.
I did. I wish a little bit.
Why?
I mean, I guess I did. I mean, I love me now.
I think
But I don't know. I just feel like I'm bright as hell.
I don't know if it has gone down in Africa, but it's like lighter people are more worshipped. Like
But that seemed to be the thing.
We see the white man as a superior person, like the man who's gonna come and lead us and do changes and do great things for the nation. But I think right now it's like going down a little bit. I mean, they have developed the country, don't get me wrong. I mean, they brought ideas, they brought technology.
No, Africans developed their own country. They helped out a lot.
Yeah, but we developed our own country, that's true. And we still have resources over there, fresh water from the ground, we still got gold.
It's a rich country.
Yeah, I hate when people see me and they be like, oh, Rita, you're African, so you speak African. First of all, African is not a language. African is the people from Africa. It's about 140 countries in Africa and more. So it's like, they're different. It depends where you're from in Africa and what language you speak. So I do not speak African. I speak Chi, I speak Ga, I understand a little bit of Ewe and Awuza. And I speak Pidgin. Pidgin is broken English. It's English. I mean, you're going to get it if you're really paying attention to it. But Pidgin is basically English. So I understand French, of course. I was taught French in high school, so you know, it's pretty much interesting. Right? I'm always cursing her out in Chi. She be like, yeah, where? She likes that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love when she speaks Tree, period.
I think when I get angry, I just start speaking Chi, and she be like, what? What you said? What? Say that again? Say it in my face. You know, it's like, so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not speak African, it's speak Tree.
It's speak Chi.
Or Ga.
Oh, God. Whoa, really? You said it real good, though.
Because I'm African.
You know you're not. Stay in your zone. So, that's about it. I hope you like this video. Valentine's Day coming out soon. We're still in
Valentine's Day is coming up. And if you are doing the challenge, the 30-day romance challenge, hashtag it and look at our It's All About February video. We also want to say thank you to everyone who has stayed with us from our first video to the one now, because our first video is now over 38,000 views, and that is so awesome. So yeah, if you haven't watched that video, watch it. But I'm pretty sure you have, because 38,000 views, that is insane. So if we can get to 100,000 by New Year's, by 2016, wouldn't that be cool?
That would be so cool.
Yes. Exciting.
Yep.
So like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram.
Tell us what you wanna us to talk about.
Yes.
Comment below.
Yes. And follow us on Instagram is heaven_n_Ritta.
Ritta.
That's right. Yeah. And again, this discussion was for Black History Month. If you can celebrate Black History Month by going to a museum, reading about, watching a documentary, just know about your culture. And if you don't know about the culture, if you're not Black, learn about it, you know?
It's interesting. Yeah,
and also join our discussion. Our last video that we uploaded, which was about the 10 things that break up a relationship, which is already at over 200 views in 2 days.
So that's good.
People are joining the discussion. They're putting comments below and saying whose side they're on and stuff like that, and what they would do, what they wouldn't do. So that's really, really cool. There's also been a lot of studs and AGs that have wanted to hit up my baby. You can follow her on Instagram, GH_LEZ.
I know there's this girl on YouTube called Lance. Hit me up on Instagram. I don't know your Instagram name. I think we can keep communication flowing back and forth. So GH_LEZ, Lance. Hit me up.
It's so cute. But you know what I think we should do? If our first video that we uploaded ever, which was the girlfriend tag, and which is now at 38,000, if it gets to 100, once it gets to 100,000, we should do a greet and meet.
Yeah,
a meet and greet here in New York City. So once it hits 100,000 views, our first video, we're gonna do a meet and greet, and meet everybody who's been watching us.
Yeah.
And if you see us, say hi, because we get that too. Yeah. Oh, we've seen you, or oh my God.
Say hi. Don't be shy. Walk up to me.
We don't bite.
We don't bite. We're cool. We're down to earth.
And also, let us know y'all Valentine's plans. Like, put it in the comments below. We like to have conversations with y'all, you know. Yeah. We are friends. We're
cool.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed this video.
And we promise this one won't take 2 weeks to upload, honey.
Yeah,
the last one
it's gonna be consistent. The last one took forever because it was an hour. That was our longest video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video as well.
45 minutes. We were, as you can see, a lot of emotions was in that video, right?
Yeah, a lot. That's being real, you know?
Yeah, because we damn sure didn't fake it. Because we was like trying to get ourselves together before we started recording, but we was already mad at each other.
Yeah, we was angry before we did the video. And
we were mad at each other.
We calming down,
right?
And we just got.
And then by the end of the video, we stopped the video and was like, hi, babe. You know, it was just like, we were just mad at each other, but over the video. That's another thing. This recording for y'all is like really cool because we'll be in a funky mood sometime. But by the time we're finished recording,
we'll be back,
yeah, we'll be back
to square one.
Loving on each other.
Love it.
Oh, babe, that's our song.
You
Okay, again, like, comment, subscribe. Heaven and Ritta, Instagram.
Fire.